Hello and welcome to the Hello Kigali series. My name is Vivian Kai Loco and it's the fourth day of this business tour. Today we'll be going to three places. The first place will be the Rwanda Development Board as well as its Registrar General, and later in the day we will be hosted by the Mayor of Kigali City, and for leisure we will be touring the city of Kigali proper and end with a visit to the Genocide Memorial Center. So stay with us and come with me.
Greetings, and we are honored to have you here at the Rwanda Development Board. It's truly an honor to have such a large and distinguished delegation from the land of Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah. The year 2000 is an important milestone, because that's the year when we started implementing a consistent development strategy for Rwanda. We call it Vision 2020, which was an aspiration to say, where do we want to be by the year 2020? At that time, we had been over a period of 5 years of sort of stabilizing the country following the genocide in 1994. So it was really a focus on development. And one aspect that came out of that Vision 2020 that was a pillar for implementation is private sector development. About 5 years later, around 2005, several of these institutions were becoming a burden to the government, a burden to the private sector. And it was clear that the institutions were not delivering. And so we went through the first round of institutional reforms. We decided we would consolidate, and about 8 institutions were brought together to form RDB. And all these 8 institutions were seen to have one thing in common. They had been put in place to facilitate private sector development.
Now we have 3 economic cluster departments. One is the SCZ and Exports Department, which is mainly focusing on the Special Economic Zone development, implementation, and also industrial parks to be able to be developed and make sure that we have full capacity occupancy and industries running within the parks. We also have the Tourism and Conservation Department, which is responsible for tourism marketing, to also ensure we have diverse products, not only the famous gorillas, but many others that we have around the country. They're also responsible for managing our 4 national parks. In addition to the tourism, we also have the ICT for Business Development Department. Initially, this department was also responsible for policy implementation, but today it is streamlined to focus mainly on business development within the ICT sector. This includes ensuring development of our startups within the ICT sector. In a nutshell, those are the departments and architecture of the Rwanda Development Board.
We've got 3 key services that we offer. One is the registration of businesses. We also do registration of mortgages and all other types of secured charges, and this is not only for companies but even for individuals. So we have a centralized sort of collateral registry for every type of secured transaction that is undertaken. And the third service that we offer is intellectual property. The registration, grant, and administration of intellectual property rights. We do both copyright and industrial property, so the full spectrum of intellectual property rights.
So that's it for our visit here at the Registrar General's Department as well as the Rwandan Development Board. We will leave here now, and so stay with us.
city of Kigali is about 730 square kilometers, a very small city with a population size. The census we did in 2011, we were about 1.3 million population. Among which this size of the land I mentioned, 730 square kilometers, due to the topography of the area, I have seen it. It's actually the wetland area and very steep slopes, of which is not friendly for any development. So now the development part is actually 50% of the entire area of the city of Kigali, which means it's almost about 244 square kilometers that can be developable land. Otherwise, the remaining part is very steep and the wetland and actually in wetland zone. If we project in our vision of 2040, we are projecting to have ultimate 5 million population in the same land. In 2007, we had actually the concept plan to see the long-term vision of the city of Kigali in 100 years to come. From that time, they actually highlighted some key concepts of what we need as the citizens of Rwanda, specifically in the city of Kigali. Now the Singaporean developed this concept into a detailed study of what we are implementing today, and in 2013 the cabinet approved the City of Kigali master plan. Since then we are now implementing it in phases. What we do in our construction permit, we actually have our checklist of something you might have, so that you have a complete package of application, so that we eliminate this incomplete application, because it cannot save your time, because our intention is actually to deliver very quick service delivery. As I mentioned again, in backyards we used to assess the project in more than 100, even it can take even the whole year without our citizen to get a feedback for construction permit. But now we introduced this electronic portal, and we have set different reforms so that we deliver quick service delivery. Since now any application that is fully complete, they can get a feedback in 7 days. That's actually from 1 year up to 7 now. You can understand now how our citizens are delivering the services from the public institutions.
And this is the final stop for the Hello Kigali series. And the final stop is the Kigali Genocide Memorial Center. This is one of the most known centers here, where you get to see the history of the war. So don't go away. Interesting things coming up now.
Are you ready? Yeah. Put your hands up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And the land is dark. I know that's the only light we'll see. Go out. Be afraid. Go out. Be afraid. Just as